Hello and we welcome you to the second episode of Flashback, highlights from the archive, looking back at some of N.E.W's most priceless moments. And tonight we go right back to the beginning, to the very first main event of N.E.W Brawl, Erwin.
Yeah, you're right, Max. World title on the line. Hell in a Cell. 4 people, which is it's very interesting to see where they are now, and this takes a lot of explaining.
Oh yes, absolutely. Believe it or not, this is the icon, the Intercontinental Champion legend, GBH, the man who's had moves named after him, dressed as a Green Bunny Rabbit.
Green Bunny Hardwin, as he was essentially going as here, hence the abbreviation of GBH upon his return. But yeah, a bit mentally unstable at this point. It would end that Franco stole that bunny head and essentially forced him to confront whatever was going on in his mind at this time.
Yeah, certainly a deranged individual, certainly not mentally stable at this point in his career. Some would say that the stealing of the bunny head, however, became one of the best things to ever happen to GBH, because it refocused this man, and what a stellar career he has had since his rebirth, if you will.
Yeah, you definitely can't deny that. Obviously, whatever was going on at that time is now over.
Well, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, this brand new series for Flashback. I am Max Roberts alongside the 4-time N.E.W World Champion Erwin. This is the first ever Brawl, and we all know who this beast is, Erwin.
Yeah, again, another one that has made legendary status in N.E.W. The man they call Vega, now rolling with Magnum Opus, and until that point no one thought he would play nice with others.
That is very true. I mean, for a long time known as a lone wolf, he'd not teamed with anyone, never associated with anyone, and I've always found it fascinating about Vega, who I have on so many occasions called the marquee event of N.E.W. Some would say he built this entire company on his back. You know, I mean, this guy really has done it all. One of the only ever Grand Slam champions, every major championship won, but he didn't win the tag team championship until very last, when everyone said he wasn't a team player.
Yeah,
he proved them wrong.
Counted out of that entire scenario. But you're right, as current records stand, the only still in action belt that he has not captured is that UK title. As we record this, at least, we don't know what his plans are, of course. Teaming with Magnum Opus is his current concern, again, as we record this.
Of course, Vega, very different attire that we see him in nowadays, but just look at the phenomenal shape this man is in for a guy his size.
Yeah, does tend to hide that chest with the singlet he chooses nowadays. And now this man has had quite a dramatic change in appearance himself. Alex Crom.
Yeah, Alex Crom. Was he going under the name Alex Kern back then? That looked very sweet. That looked like a U. Well, yeah, Alex Crom is his real name, we are told. And of course, known as arguably one of the best technical wrestlers on the roster nowadays, going through a bit of a biker phase, Erwin.
Oh, he's always loved his bikes, but yes, decided carrying a chain around his neck to prove his strength was the way to start his career. Certainly a lot more
professional is the word I would use.
Was trying to find something. I was going to say he's still as intimidating. He's still as serious in that ring. It's certainly changed his look somewhat.
I can't quite believe we are looking at the same wrestler there. I mean, Alex Crom. I mean, look at the crowd.
Use the tongue quite as much.
I mean, that is a sign of the times right there as well. When the stadium's half empty. You don't see that much nowadays.
Again, we were building the brand at this point. No one had seen until this night, apart from house shows, no one had the chance to witness New Extremes wrestling. And this was the showcase. This was the main event of our first show.
And this is Tyler York, now probably better known, I would say, as a member of the Hit Squad, one of the longest tenured teams in N.E.W. Of course, that Anna going to Los Luchadores, but the Hit Squad not that far behind them. I mean, Tyler York I mean, he's become a mainstay in the tag team division. It's interesting to see him in a main event scenario.
Yeah, I mean, this was before he'd even teamed with the Authority, which is where the Gangster kind of came to him and reminded him of his roots.
Well, I have to ask you right here. Obviously, you've seen this all happen there. When this is right in the pomp of your career. Was Tyler York considered a mainstay player? Was he considered a main eventer at the start of his career?
Well, again,
because you couldn't really make. I mean, with all due respect to the career he's had, you couldn't really call him a main eventer nowadays.
Well, again, intercontinental reign and a European reign have certainly proven he is worthy of a belt, but he'd proven his worth on the house shows at this point, and it was all about kind of trying to find the ground. Again, I wasn't privy to the committee's decisions. Again, this was before Adrian Goldman even owned the company, but I believe they were kind of trying to get a feel for all these people at this time.
Well, there you have it. I mean, from an eyewitness, if you will. I mean, Tyler York at the moment, who took a hell of a punishment on the outside from Alex Kern at the time. Who took Vega out, my word, head first right into that ring post. I mean, this is, of course, before I think, is that our old tech desk?
Yeah, on the outside there.
Are they actually? Is that when they had broadcasters down at ringside?
No, that is our tech desk. We did tend to use another. I think that's why it's come back, because while it did get broken down there from time to time, we'd never had any technical interference.
A lot of people did speculate that was sabotage going on between Goldman and Snake. Of course, between the war of N.E.W. and E.F.W. That was never proven either way. It has to be stated, but undeniable the amount of technical difficulties we had during that period. Alex Kern now attacking Tyler York and GBH in the luminous green. That looks absolutely nothing like GBH. It's unreal how much that guy has changed. He's carrying a lot more weight there than he is nowadays as well. Oh, what a bench press slam there by Vega. Going for a pin here.
Let's not forget
a very
GBH.
young looking Bob Shatopa. Oh, that's a 2.
Let's not forget GBH, 500 pounds, as you say, a lot less in shape at this point. Most of that now being essentially muscle.
Yeah, I mean, he still is a 500 pounder, but GBH, but he has spent a tremendous amount of time refiguring his body. I mean, he is in phenomenal shape nowadays. I mean, he's getting up there in years now, GBH, considered a veteran, one of the veterans of the locker room. And
what a hip toss from
him and Vega now are actually associates nowadays. I mean, GBH being confirmed as a 4th member of Magnum Opus only very recently. We're still waiting on the developments on that one.
Yeah, it kind of shows how much times have changed here in N.E.W. GBH essentially a mortal enemy of Vega at this point. Both of them trying to compete for that big man spot, if you will.
Vicious gut wrench, that classic gut wrench there by Vega, which has of course become synonymous with the monster. Tyler York putting a hell of a fight here against the marquee event, throwing Vega to the outside.
Yeah, and you've got to think as well, it's a very powerhouse-based match. I mean, a lot more technicality in some than others.
And a kick out. Oh, there it is. GBH barely. That close to the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, barely missing the 3. Alex Crom getting the kick out there. Vega choking the life out of Tyler York. Again, this Hell in a Cell. Not so much used as a weapon, but definitely concealing anyone from getting involved in this. That's another thing leading up to this. There was a lot of people that wanted to be in this match, including me.
Yeah,
you've got to think if it was without that cell, a lot of them would have intervened here.
Of course, before I was associated with the company on a full-time basis, so you have to wonder how. I have to ask you: was there any kind of backstage heat? I mean, was this a lottery? Was this done by committee? Was this a case of the owner at the time going, "Okay, I want you 4 guys because you're the biggest 4 guys I've got. Let's see what Let's see who should be champ." Oh, wait a minute, double pin there.
Well, yeah. Again, I'm not privy to the committee's decisions at the time, but they were basically the ones that let us know that these were the people that were going to be in
the
it.
heat? I mean,
there was a lot of backlash as a result. Of course, those 4 very happy with getting the first shot, but people arguing that everyone on the roster should have got a chance in the final match.
Many of the wrestlers who came into N.E.W. at the start of the company's tenure somewhat started with the company. I mean, I believe Vega is actually an N.E.W. original. I mean,
yeah, as is GBH. I mean, all 4 of these, I believe. actually were. I don't know whether that played a part in it.
Signed with the company, started with the company, so they therefore got the title shot. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that's hard to argue against. My word, Vega using that ring post as a weapon, and again, my word,
delivering a huge chop to Alex Crom. Tyler York looking for something bold against GBH in the ring.
I've seen some pretty vicious Hell in the Cells in my time, so, and definitely with N.E.W, but this one's right up there. Tyler York with that baseball bat before, bloody laying waste to everyone that got in his way. Oh my word, what a shoulder barge by GBH, and again, off the ring rope. I've never seen this match before, this is epic. Oh!
Huge slam, and Vega being sent back in the ring now. Of course, the history that would lead after this match, just as incredible as the match itself. Huge gorilla press slam, Vega getting a second wind there.
GBH with the bunny. Vega a little bit occupied by Alex Crom, who countered the monster beautifully, and of course that's what Alex Crom has been renowned for in this. Oh, what a shot! Baseball, and again, just swinging for the fences there. GBH and Vega.
Crom trying to eliminate his competition essentially there.
My God, two vicious shots.
However, Tyler York trying to capitalise on that. And again, this fatal four-way so closely contested.
Yeah, it's very hard to pick a winner at this point. I mean, you guys, all right, you've admitted that there was heat in the locker room when these four guys were picked, but by this point in the match, I mean,
I think
you must have been stood round the monitor just admitting, there it is.
That victory from Vega after as Alex Crom and GBH fighting on the outside.
Well, I know you guys, you may not have been happy about it, but you have to admit that is one hell of a main event to kick off Brawl.
We were certainly watching on the monitors at this point. A huge gorilla press slam to GBH.
Word. The structure that you eventually called up home, Owen.
Well, yeah, of course. Now leased out to the Cowboy.
Oh, arguably Snake after last week's performance as of recording this.
Very true. Again, we will get a replay on what ended this match. So many near falls in this match.
Yeah, I mean, and of course a double pin as well. I mean, it's very rare that you see that. I mean, how young does Mike Shatopa? He looks like his son. We've got Bob Shatopa now as a referee, and my God, it's like looking at Bob now.
this was it right here as GBH went out to get Alex Crom.
Oof.
Tyler York and Vega having a go between, but that headbutt.
Take that.
Possibly changing Tyler York's career for the next few weeks.
Being hit by a fridge, and there it is, Vega, the monster, the marquee event, the first ever N.E.W champion, and of course we all know the rest is history. Every major championship practically to this man's name. The longest ever reigning tag team champion now, in one of the longest reigning world champions. I mean, this man's record is insane.